everyone, you are listening to the Manifesting Straight Talk podcast, and I'm your host, Rachel Chamley. I'm a mindset and manifesting coach from the UK, and I am here to ignite that fire inside of you. If you are a female entrepreneur or change maker, or just a woman that is wanting more from life, then you are in exactly the right place. I am going to give you my no-nonsense, straight-talking advice to manifesting and show you how to take your life to that next level. So if you're ready, dive in now. Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode. This week I am going to be diving into how you quantum leap into the life that you want to live, how you embody that most expansive version of you. Now, I know you might have been looking at those big dreams and thinking that's something that I'll have someday, or it's something way off in the future, or it's something that maybe isn't even possible for me. But what I want to tell you, if you are having those dreams, if you are having those thoughts, and if you are having those feelings of what if that could happen, then that means it's for you. And more importantly, it is already created. Everything on this universe is energy, absolutely everything. So if you think of energy, you cannot destroy it. It is already created, it is already formed, it is already out there on some energetic plane. So those desires that you have that might seem so far-fetched are actually already out there existing. That version of you is already there. She is already living that life. She is already running that business. She's already creating that impact, already happening now. So why aren't you seeing that around you? Because what we focus on is what happens in our reality. Our thoughts are creating our reality. Our feelings are creating our reality. Our energies creating our reality. And when we're only open up to so much, we can only visualize and see so much. So to give you this in context, I want you to think about when you get asked to find something in the cupboard. Sometimes when you're in that mood and you're sick of people draining on you or whatever it is, and somebody says, find the salt, and you literally stood in front of the cupboard going, I cannot find the salt, I cannot find the salt. And then somebody suddenly walks in front of you and just picks it out from in front of your face. And it's like when you've lost something, you're like, I can't find it, I can't find it. And then suddenly somebody else just finds it really quickly. And it was right in front of you all along. And that's because you are telling your mind you cannot find it. So your mind is creating this block from you seeing the thing. So it's exactly the same with your reality. It's exactly the same with the world you see. Because you are saying that this is your reality, you are getting what you expect, and that is what's creating your outside world. So when you start to open up to the possibility of that isn't all I expect, that isn't what I want to see, I want to see more, I want to open up to more, then your reality starts to shift and morph and change into exactly what it is that you want. And that is when we collapse the timeline between where we are now and where we want to be. And it really is a shift in the energy. It's you deciding that that is your life no matter what. It's you deciding that that life is for me. That is the life I was born to live, and my desires want me more. And once you shift your energy to that place and you start to embody that version of you, there is no way that your reality cannot shape that version of you. The only thing that that version of you knows is that reality, is that wealth, is that abundance, is that way of thinking and being and feeling. So the reality outside matches what that energy is inside of you. So it is all about embodying that version of you. Now, she isn't someone else. I don't want you to think it's another person you're stepping into, or your future version. It isn't someone else. It is you. It is you with your energy, with your vibration. You are just stepping things up. You're stepping into a different frequency, but it's all about you. And to bring this into context as well, look back on your past. How many times have you shifted and grown and developed, and you have always been you? Looking back, you were always being the same person, but you've just grown and developed and tweaked as it went on. And that is exactly the same. That version of you that has all them desires is you. It's just you now shifting into that, you now allowing that to come through, you stepping into what you actually were born to do. So really, those big desires that we have, they all come from the universal consciousness. They are all delivered to you personally because they are part of your mission. They are what you are here to achieve. They are what you are here to experience. They are what you are here to have, be, or do. So remember that they are for you. They're not for someone else. They are for you. So if you're there doubting your desires and thinking they are not for you, then you are crazy. Every desire you are having is exactly what you should be having and exactly what you should be having in your reality. So start to think about what you've been doubting and putting off and really thinking it's not for you, when the fact you even have that desire means it is for you and it is something you were born to have. So if you were thinking of being a millionaire, if you were thinking of being a CEO of a major company that has huge impact, whatever that is for you, that is for you. So please stop doubting yourself. When you're doubting yourself, when you're playing small, you are in your ego, you are in your lazy mind. You are not connected to that divine consciousness that knows exactly what you were born to do. So I want you to start to think of, what are them desires that you have been putting off? What is that life like that you have been putting off? Because once we step into that energy, we are setting that intention that that is for us. That is the life that we are creating. There is no plan B. That is the life. So imagine that. What is that life you want to claim? What is that life you want to step into? What does that look like? What does that version of you look like? What does that up level look like to you? Get really clear, get visualizing it. So to make these quantum leaps, we have to start getting a quantum vision in mind. So really thinking of imagining that life is yours, imagining what that life represents. So if it's having abundance of money, what is that house like that you're going to be living in? What is that business like you're going to be running? What is that impact you're going to be making? What is that big vision that really encapsulate that for you? So it could be you stood on a stage. It could be you getting your New York Times bestseller book. It could be you buying your £1 million house. What does that look like for you? And I want you to get really clear and activate that version. So how we do this, there's 3 stages. The first stage to make quantum leaps is to activate that version of you. So to get really, really clear on that vision. Get really clear on that vision of you and step into that energy. Step into that version of you that has everything. Feel what that energy is like. Feel what the beliefs like. Get to know that version of you. Get to know the thoughts, get to know the energy, get to know the feelings. Because once you step into that version, what you'll feel is the shift, where actually that version doesn't have the doubts that you have. They don't have the thoughts running through their head that you have. They have clarity, they have confidence, they have surety that this is the life they should be living. And as soon as you shift into that energy, suddenly your vibration changes. Suddenly everything that you thought wasn't possible, or all those beliefs you have about yourself, they're not as true as you really thought they were. So by shifting, sometimes this clears the thoughts or beliefs that you have been holding on to for so long. And actually you see that in this next version of you, they're not even true. They've never been true. They're just what you've told yourself to keep yourself small. So get stepping into that energy of that vibration of that person. Feel into the energy, feel into the emotions, feel into the thoughts, look around you, see what life looks like. Get that really clear, get that really fixed, and that becomes your quantum vision. That becomes that quantum vision that you can bring up at any point to go, that is my future, that is what's coming, that is for me, that is happening now. That is being created. It is already there. I am just bridging the gap to step into it. So start to think of that vision and then get really clear on what do you feel like when you're there, and get one emotion in your mind and just feel into that emotion. So it could be freedom, it could be release, it could be calm, it could be excitement. What is that feeling that brings up as soon as you step into that vision? What does that feel like? And that becomes your quantum feeling. And then think of a quantum mantra. So what is it that you want to say on repeat that means you are already there? So it could be, I am a 7-figure CEO. It could be, I am so wealthy and abundant and so happy. I am, loved and joyful. What is it for you that represents that version of you? What is it for you that represents that life, that has brought it to life? It could be, I am a New York Times bestseller. I am a speaker all over the world. What is it for you that really steps into that mantra? And get really, really clear on that. And then when you are in this space, you now have your quantum vision, you now have your quantum feeling, you now have your quantum mantra. Think of what is the action that is going to align you to that next version of you, and let that flow through you. You will have inspired action coming to you at this point. As soon as you step into that version, the inspired action will start to flow. Now, it might not be instantly, but just watch to see what comes. Watch to see what ideas come. And they might not make any sense to you, but they need to be acted upon. So to take quantum action towards what you want is the best way to start shifting the energy. So if you think of the energy as quite flat and just bobbing along, as soon as you take that quantum action, you excite all the atoms. You start to change the energy around you. You start to spark it to mold into that version of you. So action is so, so powerful and needs to be taken. So this is how we start to make shifts into that version of us, by embodying it, saying that is for us, choosing that reality. That activates it, and then to finalize it, we take some inspired action, something that feels aligned to that next version of you. So that's how we activate this quantum leap. This is how we shift into that space. And the next stage of the process is the bridging. So the bridging is where you go from the reality you are in now to the reality you have chosen, that manifestation that you are creating, that life, that quantum vision. That is the end place you want to be. And in the meantime, there's a bridging period. So we've got to stay focused through the bridging period, and we've got to keep in mind what we are working towards. So the main thing is to start working through the beliefs and anything that is not in alignment with that version of us. Through this bridging period, things might shift, things might change, things might come up to challenge our thinking, things might deselect from our life. And this is all evidence that it is happening. When people start to remove themselves from your life, or suddenly your followers drop, it is because you are shifting to this new reality, and it is creating space for the new to come in. So the dynamics are starting to change, and you start to see things where you start to see everybody else is doing the same as you. That is a sign that it's working. That is a gift that things are starting to change in your favor. So sometimes when we start to make these changes, and it might be that you've shifted the direction of your business, or you've shifted something in your life, and then suddenly you're like, wow, everybody around me is doing exactly the same thing. That is showing that you are in alignment. You are bridging to your new self because you are focusing on what you are creating. So remember, if you see others doing the same, it is just an added bonus that you are on the right track. As well, if you get anything that comes up, so your ego will be trying to keep you in your old state. Your ego won't want you to move to this new version of you because it doesn't understand it yet. So it's trying to protect you. So anything that you see that you feel is a disruption, or something that tries to trip you up or bring you back to your old self, that is your ego giving you a massive gift. What it's wanting you to do is work through a pattern of behavior or work through a belief or something that you need to shift in order to level up. So it isn't giving you an issue, it's giving you a gift to solve and to get you there quicker. So please don't think this is a problem. What we need to do is acknowledge it, see what the lesson is, and start to move through it. And that's how we start to bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be. So we keep this quantum vision alive. You keep revisiting it daily, a couple of times a day, whatever feels good for you. Keep revisiting this vision, keep it alive, keep going into your vision as if it's already happened. So go into your vision and then put it in the past. So imagine you are energetically reframing that vision as in it is now in the past, it has happened. You are celebrating, you are imagining all your family and friends and going, oh my God, this is incredible, you did it. And you might not even know what the thing is that you did, but you feel that feeling, you feel that joy that you have already created it, it's already happened, and you are already living that life. And now that is just in the past, it's just a part of what's already happened. And by doing this, it's not just imagining, it's not just, crazy thinking. This is actually manipulating that energy so that it shifts into your consciousness. It becomes your reality. So don't think these visions are just crazy woo-woo stuff. These visions are big game changers. So make sure you play with this energy. And the final step is the manifestation period. So this is where your manifestation comes to life. That quantum vision actually becomes your reality. And this is where we have to celebrate. What normally happens is when we achieve anything in life or we've manifested things, suddenly it becomes the norm because our reality and our bridging has shifted that much that it's just our normal life. It's just the next thing that we expected to happen. And that's amazing because you are manifesting like an absolute legend. But also then we get to the point where we're like, what's the next thing? So just let yourself, when you start to see this manifestation unfold, celebrate it. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself for taking charge and changing things and actually following your desires, because that is the bravest thing you can do in this life. It is so easy to sit in our comfort zone and be told to live the life that we're meant to live and go, with the norm and, do all the normal things. But actually, when you are following those soul desires, you are being extremely brave, extremely courageous, and you are stepping out the norm of what most people do. So give yourself a massive, massive pat on the back. As soon as you start to see these things come into life, celebrate the hell out of it and celebrate the hell out of yourself, because you are the one who has created it. You are the one who has been absolutely amazing and put yourself in this situation. You have shifted your beliefs, you've shifted your thoughts, you have stepped up. By the point that manifestation is coming in, you have changed your reality. You have stepped into that next version of you unapologetically and become that absolute badass that was always inside. So give yourself credit and also thank the version of you that chose to make that decision, chose to activate that reality. She was amazing. She was brave. She was incredible. She fought everything. Even though her outside world was telling her she was crazy and she couldn't see her manifestations yet, she still kept going. So remember to celebrate the hell out of your manifestations, because it took a version of you, the old version, to go, yes, you can do this, you can have this, you are worth this. So celebrate that decision. So they are the three parts to making this quantum leap. So first of all, it's activation. And I went through the 4 stages of that. So quantum vision, quantum mantra, quantum feeling, and quantum action. And that is how you activate this vision. So really, really think of how you are going to be activating that next level of you and what that looks like. And come and share it with me in the Manifesting Straight Talk podcast group. I would love to hear about it. So please come and share that in the Facebook group. And then the next phase is the bridging. Now, this is where the Facebook group can really help you, because when you are going through this bridging period, it can be hard and people around you can, find it difficult what you're doing. And that is your safe place to share. That is your safe place to get some support, get your community around you, get the people who know what you're going through to help you through this process. So make sure you are joining that community and sharing about what you are bridging into and what's coming up for you, and use that community to your benefit for that. And then manifestation. So celebrate once it's manifested. And that's the perfect place. I want to see all these incredible things that you are manifesting. I always get messages, DMs, all this stuff about all the things that are coming to life for you. But please share it in that Facebook group, because everybody else needs that encouragement. Once people start to see what you're creating, what you've stepped through, the challenges you've overcome, it inspires other people. So that Manifesting Straight Talk Facebook group is the perfect place to post, and you will not understand how much you are inspiring the other people in that group. So please, please share. So I hope this one helps you, and this is how you start to embody that next version of you. And remember, this isn't someone else. This isn't the new you, the old you. This is just you. This is you creating an upgrade for yourself. So please don't put the distance between it and think it's who you are going to be someday, because it's not who you are going to be someday. You can choose to be that today. You can choose to bring that into your reality. You always have the choice. So please remember that. And if you need any help and support, you know where I am. Come and join the Facebook group, reach out to me on DM, however you want to get in touch. All the details are in the show notes, and I can't wait to speak to you next week where I have another amazing topic on this. Catch you then. Bye.